Puke dick.
3, 2, 1.
Puke dick.
Action. We cut your first puke dick. I just wanted a clean start. I wanted that. What do you call a clapperboard? Is it called a clapperboard?
Sure.
You're in the industry. What is it called?
Slate.
That's right. Is it also called a clapperboard?
Maybe it used to be, but it's called a slate.
Well, I'm from the golden age of film, so...
Because you are 50 years older than me.
I'm 73 years old.
Yeah. Back when you could write movies that called people the F word.
Up
Fancy.
until 1993?
Up until 2005, probably.
Oh, yeah, way more than that, yeah.
Yeah, there were F-bombs in the 90s.
Yeah.
But yeah, then
Doesn't Matt Dillon throw one out in Crash?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think he does.
I'm sure. I remember it was a big deal on Will and Grace when Will, who is gay, called Jack, who is gayer, a faggot, and Jack's feelings got really hurt.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, whoa, you done did it, less gay guy.
That's like me calling you that.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm Will and you're Jack.
I am the Jack to your Will.
And Kelly's Grace.
I am the pretty one. Anyways, we're here not to talk about that. We're here to talk about something else. Rough. With the dude.
We've been getting aggressive in the last couple ones.
Yeah, we've gotten into fights.
No, Scott thought he saw another dog in his yard, so he started.
I heard the doorbell.
Fair enough. So
I heard the doorbell, and it was the mailman who's fucking my mom. But in that scenario, I'm a dog.
So your
my mom's a dog. And then Drew referred to my mom as a DeMilf. Dog mom I like to fuck.
yeah.
So that's what you missed.
That kind of adds up.
We were trying to think of other ones, but nothing else worked.
Alright, so this is the worst year of our lives.
You're going to say...
I was going to say the worst day. And I'm like, which
this is actually the worst day of my life?
Every day you see me is the worst day of my life.
Whoa, man.
Today.
Just in case you got confused what was happening at the beginning there, this is about 2000 Nitro. And this 2000 Nitro is coming to us... Well, actually, what's the date on this one?
July 24th.
July 24th.
2000.
The
MM.
year of our Lord.
And this is coming to us from Cleveland, Ohio.
Barf.
Home of Dolph Ziggler.
And I do hear that Cleveland rocks. I don't know, did you hear that story that Ricky told at Battlemania about that?
About Cleveland rocking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was...
Friend of the show, Ricky Shane Page.
He was on... him and Zane were on the shuttle.
Friend of the show, Alex Zane.
Yeah. On a shuttle, I don't know exactly where. And the guy driving the shuttle was like, "Oh, so where are you guys coming in from?" And Zane's like, "Oh, Kentucky." Or he's from LA now.
No, yeah. But
he splits his time between Kentucky and LA.
Yeah, I think he said LA at the time. And then Ricky said Ohio. And then the driver just goes, "Hear that place rocks." And then Ricky's like, "Yeah, I get that a lot." He's like, "I've been waiting 20 years to sell that to somebody." I'm so happy.
Never met anyone from Ohio before.
Yeah, not even Cleveland specifically, just the state.
Yeah. So, yes, we're from the Cleveland Rocks, and it opens immediately with one Lance Storm coming out wearing his newly won Canadian...
Yeah, won in the tournament last week.
Yeah, this is the first appearance of the Canadian title.
Yeah, new sticker.
Because it was the U.S. title when he won it.
So he comes out of that around his waist in a shirt that says, "I am Canadian," and he does his, comes out there and he says, "Okay, well, I want everyone here to stand for the Canadian National Anthem," which they do, and it plays the entire...
For the second time in 3 weeks.
Yeah, National Anthem. And then from there, he talks about how, "Can I be serious for a moment?" His classic stuff, and then, you people don't give me the respect I deserve, and he basically talks about how America's kind of a shithole and they have no more heroes left.
Pretty much.
It's pretty much what he said,
yeah.
But he's like...
But
he didn't make references.
He's like, all you have is...
Yeah, all the heroes you have are... And the first two he lists are...
Which, in the year 2000...
There was the commentators who said it.
Was it?
Because he said, "You have no American heroes left, so I should be your hero."
Oh, that's right.
And then Shivani on the commentary says,
"What
That's
about...
not true.
What about these guys?"
And
literally his two examples...
were one, Tiger Woods, and... Lance Armstrong.
How perfect is that? Like, what amazing luck in the year 2000 would you say arguably the greatest golfer of all time, who turned out to be a sex monster and is disgraced from the game.
And, just awful.
And can't play anymore because he's not having sex as much.
Yeah. Yeah, literally, yeah. I love how not cheating on your wife as much destroyed your golf game. Yeah. That's how much of a mental game it is, guys.
And I guess you're back.
You're back and I guess you're back. And then...
And he's old.
Yeah, and then, speaking of disgraced, Lance Armstrong, the man who had 47 Tour de France titles taken away from him.
427.
What did I say?
47.
That sounds right.
How many was it actually? 7?
I think it was 7, legit.
I think it was 7.
Yeah. And one of his testicles as a punishment. As an act of contrition, he was forced to give up a testicle.
Well, they tried to punish him at first with the testicle, then he overcame it with one another. They're like, okay, well now we have to. Yeah. So he makes the reference to this, and he says, and now he's talking about how he's going to be wrestling Mike Awesome at the what's the pay-per-view?
New Blood Rising in
Vancouver,
British Columbia.
Which I did not go to, but I knew very many people who did. So in order to get ready for that match, he's issuing an open challenge as a warm-up to anyone who would come in, and he will put his belt on the line. So he's basically making a challenge to any American back there that can come in and take the title and what have you. So when you're thinking of all these people in the back, who would be your first choice to come out?
I'm going to say the guy with the Italian flag on his jacket.
That would be correct.
Nailed it.
Big Vito comes out wearing his singlet is Italian colors, and he has got Italian flag on his boots, and he has Italy jacket that he's wearing, and
American hero.
Yeah, and for I've missed a couple of episodes, but the second time in a row I've seen him say he'll come out, his music stops, and he goes, "Cut my music."
A classic.
Yeah, and
breaking news: I believe Joe has confirmed 8 Tour de France titles taken away from
correct
Lance Armstrong and Lance Storm.
Yeah,
also had to vacate his Tour de France titles, but is still the Canadian champion.
And Vito comes out and calls him a cocksucker.
Yeah. Also, Vito was a heel.
Yeah.
And now he's a face.
Yeah. And Vito is also the hardcore champion.
Because there haven't been enough inexplicable turns in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. And so he runs out there. And
we had to explain, Kelly missed 2 weeks. We literally had to explain every face and heel alignment to him because none were the same as the last time he watched.
I was very confused. But Vito comes out and he comes in and is like, and so Lance says, well, if my belt's on the line, you got to put your hardcore belt on the line. And Vito says, I got no problem with that. And
your belt don't mean, and then he used some stupid random Italian.
Yeah, bit about
Gumats.
Yeah, and
your belt don't mean gabagool.
Yeah, and then boom, they immediately go right into a match, which actually wasn't bad.
It was all right.
It was fine. There was
minus a tragic up and over.
Oh yeah, that was very bad. There's also a part where because Vito had control for a good part of the match.
Yeah,
he goes outside to pull out a table and then just gives up.
Oh yeah,
I guess it got caught on something. And he was just like, all right, well,
fuck this.
Bad at taking things out from under the table.
There was a sweet superplex, which Vito kicks out of, and then kind of immediately
gets up and just starts beating up Storm.
No souls. And then there was a cool reversal into the Maple Leaf, which was the finish.
Yeah, that's pretty smooth.
And then, that was the finish. So this is the beginning of Lance Storm's title reigns, where he's winning all the titles.
Yeah, I didn't know they happened this fast, because he just won the U.S. last week, and now he's got this, so maybe he wins the Cruiser next week. I don't know if they do it just bang, bang.
I don't know if it's right away. But I don't think he goes week. I think there's a gap between
this and the Cruiser.
And now, when he won the title, Tony Schiavone excitedly exclaims that he is the Canadian champion as well as the WCW heavyweight champion. But that's not what happened. He is the hardcore champion.
Hardcore gets renamed what? The Saskatchewan something?
Yeah.
Is it just the Saskatchewan hardcore title?
Yeah.
Or
something like that.
Yeah.
So
cool.
That's our opening segment, and then from there. Commercial, and then we come back and we got Booker T, the newly crowned world heavyweight champion that he won at Bash at the Beach, coming out, and he's talking about got a little promo to the fans saying, you all supported me and and I love you for it, and I'm going to fight for the people and what have you. And then out comes Goldberg, to which I had to ask, is Goldberg a face or a heel?
We didn't have a great answer for you.
Lance Storm wins it on the next Nitro.
Awesome.
Oh my god.
Man. Way to go. They're all in on Lance.
Whatever.
Yeah, because like last match Goldberg worked, he was kind of the face, but now he's kind of not. So
yeah.
Now,
I still kind of is.
I was kind of in and out on this promo. So obviously the main point is that Goldberg wants the title.
Goldberg wants a shot. Then Cat comes out and says,
"Well, but like
he
couldn't have it that night because." It was just
because we're not sure why.
Yeah, we're not sure why, but he also offered to be Booker T's partner. The fact that there was no tag match or anything like that announced.
Yeah.
Drew's making a face.
I just watched a man die.
What? Drew, are you watching Faces of Death while we do a podcast again?
Are you watching that video where it says Owen Hart falls from the ceiling, but it's just Bambi getting squished by Godzilla's foot?
What?
Oh, no!
Was that Triple Mania? Did Triple Mania have it? No, that's like August. No, it's August. Forget I said anything.
It's just a AAA show.
It's a AAA show.
Pagano?
Yeah, one of the clowns.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, reverse angle isn't any prettier.
Oh, no.
What, So what we're seeing is a Canadian destroyer on the apron, or that's what it's supposed to be, only the guy taking the destroyer is too far away from the apron, so he just goes straight down to the floor and presumably dies?
He looks like he gets up afterwards, so he might be fine.
So did Paraguayo.
Ray killed him.
Nobody talks about Rey Mysterio being a murderer that much, but you know what?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you were saying Cat comes out, and the Cat's like, hold on. And he decides that, like, Booker's going to have a title. I think Booker said he was going to defend the World Heavyweight title on Nitro every Nitro or something like that.
I think he said that a couple, like, when he, the first week when he was the champion, he said he wants to defend it.
Yeah.
He's here to wrestle. He's not here to, like, talk.
Right. So they decided, okay, well...
I'm not here to...
Oh, no. Oh, no.
You shouldn't have told me about the movie earlier. I'm not here to fag off.
That is a reference to a movie called The Gates, which is an 80s horror movie, and how very un-PC the 80s was. Yeah. So... Cat decides that, well, we don't know who Booker T's going to fight, so... Because there's obviously lots of people on a title shot, so he's like, we're going to leave it up to the fans. You go on WCW.com and we'll vote. And it's kind of like a Cyber Sunday, Taboo Tuesday kind of deal.
Yeah, you know all you fans here in the arena who have the internet on your phones?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can totally
I was just thinking that.
In
like, no one in the crowd is going to be able to do this.
Yeah.
But, anyways, and then from there... Goldberg gets mad, I guess, because he's not getting the title shot right away, and then he goes after Cat. So we got a heel going after heel, and Booker T makes the save for the Cat.
Yeah.
And then security comes in, separates them.
But I'm honestly not clear on the face heel element of Goldberg or the Cat.
Yeah. So, and then that's the kind of the end of the segment. And then from there, we get to our second match, which... I have just written down bad. That's the only note I took on it, which was
mixed tag
of David Flair and Miss Hancock versus Chavo and Major Guns. It was dog shit.
There's 4 people in it. One of them is an okay wrestler. The other 3 literally aren't wrestlers.
Yeah. And David Flair has never looked more unnatural. Like, I've never seen anyone look more unnatural.
Everything he does is wrong.
Yeah. I don't even know if this is so much wrong as it's just like when he goes to do it, it's like I don't want to do this.
Yeah,
and
like
it's
his body is like actively working against him.
Yeah, and God, it goes on for fucking 5 minutes, and there's a bunch of sloppy like, the guy's holding the girl, and then Miss Hancock goes to the top, and then she goes to dive on her, but the Major Gun gets away like 5 seconds before she dies. She ends up jumping anyways.
Yeah, David Flair was like holding guns like sort of over his knee with her like vagina exposed.
Yeah.
And then she rolled away, and then like half an hour later, Hancock does a very timid crossbody off the top. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, and it's pretty much... Oh, yeah, and then, like, at first I didn't know it was going to be a tag match because it's just David Flair coming out with Miss Hancock, and he's wearing, like, a dress shirt and shoe. Like,
David Flair's not in gear.
Yeah, and, like, Miss Hancock gets the ring, and she just starts dancing, and I'm like, it's going to be one of these fucking things where she just dances and that's it? Like, ugh, I hate that.
Yeah, well, to be fair, he did accomplish more than her just dancing, but
true.
Unfortunately, it was the match that we had to see.
So, that was it. End of fucking story. From there, we go to the Cat. A Cat pops up so many goddamn times in this.
We did the Cat counter on this.
Yeah, it was 7 for this episode.
Pretty good. I think we maxed the date.
I think we did 8 a couple shows ago. Yeah,
You gotta get to 9 because that makes sense.
I get it.
Yeah.
69.
Sure. So the cat's in his office, and Jeff Jarrett comes in all mad because like, God damn it, Slapnut, you're gonna give me the.
Did I tell the story on the podcast of having to explain to my mother on her 69th birthday what a 69 was?
I feel like you have.
Okay. Then I won't.
I don't know if it was this one, but it was. I feel like it was one.
I don't remember, but I've heard the story, so whether or not it was on the podcast or not,
I know I've heard the story.
I refuse to potentially tell it twice, so I will not. You can DM me for stories involving my mother and 69s. That's right.
So
slide into those DMs.
So Jeff Jarrett gets mad. He's basically threatening the cat to, like, give me a title shot. The cat's like, okay, fine, Jeff, I'll give you a title shot. You can face Chronic for the tag titles by yourself.
Yeah, I guess that was the implication. He never said, like, get a partner.
Yeah, and then
and you know, to Jarrett's credit, took matters into his own goddamn hands.
Yeah,
and attempted murder Brian Clark.
Yeah. So yeah,
with a banjo.
It shows. And this is like almost immediately too. Like it's this promo.
Oh, it was bang bang bang.
Yeah.
Like everyone teleported from scene to scene.
Yeah, it was this segment, and the next segment was Brian Clark knocking on the door of him Brian Adams knocking on the door of him and Clark's locker room.
Like, let's go,
brother.
Yeah.
And then he walks away, and then the camera goes in, and you see Brian Clark laid out on the floor with a smashed guitar.
Yeah,
on
even though we saw Jarrett and Kat 3 seconds earlier.
And then immediately Jeff Jarrett.
And then they're entering the ring.
Yeah, music hits, and he's entering
crazy.
the ring. And then out comes Brian Adams. It's like, okay, so I guess we're getting Brian Adams versus Jarrett. We're like, I don't know how this is gonna be.
It delivered in its own way.
Oh yeah, so okay, so they start off, just with punching and small reversals.
Adams is pretty fired up.
Yeah, Adams. Jarrett whips Adams against the ropes. He bends down,
like he's going for a back body drop.
Drew, take me through what happens here.
Oh.
What happened to you?
Sorry, no, I was totally just like spacing on it.
Smoked too much loud.
Yeah, so whips him in, hits the ropes, Jarrett drops down, Adams with 2 movements. Walks into the powerbomb position.
No dip,
grabs him up, and drops for a pile driver, but he
jumps for a pile driver.
Let's go with one hand.
And puts to the side.
Puts the hand down to brace himself and does a pile driver in the least safe way possible.
It simultaneously looked totally rad, but completely unsafe.
Yeah, we all lost our minds. And then oh god, and then they kind of but whatever, he was okay. They go to the outside, and then Jarrett proceeds to give pile driver to the floor, which was
safest.
Way safer. You say we will about Jarrett, but he's not going to hurt anyone.
Yeah, there was a really bad DDT
only his
spot.
own career.
Ooh, there
there was a real weak DDT.
Yeah, it was kind of just awkwardly done. Adams. So Jarrett gets on him, but then Adams gets his comeback, and then Adams hits actually that good full Nelson slam.
Yep.
And then at some point Jarrett's
getting the guitar,
and he hits Adams in the throat with it, and then that was I think before the full Nelson. But anyways, Adams is still up. I think he's still up on Jarrett, and then Clark runs in with the shattered guitar, and then the referee's distracted, who's Slick Johnson or whatever, and then he hits Jarrett with it, and then
proceeds
to give Jarrett a fucking awesome meltdown.
Yep.
And then they decide, okay, it's it.
They're going to give him high times in the ring.
Yeah.
But then,
No, they look and they see the table. So we're going to do it in the table. So they take him outside. They're going to go do it. But old Slick
is against it for some reason.
Yeah,
I'm not really sure why.
So they toss Jarrett. They grab Slick, and they give Slick the high times to the table. And
Slick dies.
Yeah, straight up. And Slick goes through the table and lands on his
neck bumps.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's really gross. And and this is also I'm getting kind of nervous now because Chronic keeps coming out in clothes, and it's they actually have cool gear, and why are you not wearing it?
Because it's the year 2000, baby.
I guess that's fine.
Gears for suckers.
And
ask David Flair. Ask Hancock.
Everyone have 50%, 70% of the roster.
Yeah,
Jesus. So from there we go back to the cat. He's trying to put together some sort of thing on his desk. I don't know what it is. And then
it's just a desk ornament.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, boom! Vampiro's sitting in the chair there. He's like, "Oh hell, man, where'd you come from?"
Magic.
Yeah. And then so I guess I didn't see this. Vampiro and the Great Muta's back in WCW,
Yeah.
and him and Vampiro had a match last week.
That's
and,
all.
Yeah, apparently it was really bad. So
And made us immediately put Muta in the bottom 5 of WCW in his first match.
yeah, and
That is correct. He's awful.
Vampiro decided, well, I want to wrestle Muta again because why the fuck not?
Because
Right?
it was so great last week.
Yeah, and so what's his Kat says sure, and I kind of missed this, but Kat was like, yeah, sure, whatever. So he makes the match. Then it's commercial. They come back. The Cat comes out to the ring in a referee shirt. So I guess he just decided he was going to be the referee.
Yeah, he can do whatever he wants. He's the cat.
I guess. And so Vampiro comes
Cats
out.
can do whatever they want.
Yeah, Vampiro comes out with the fucking ICP. It's the Dark Carnival.
Homies.
Yeah, and
Fucking magnets. How do they work?
and then Great Muta comes out to some. What was the music he came out to?
To Vampiros?
No, Muta.
Oh, it's the instrumental for "Love My Way" by the Psychedelic Furs. It's that like plinky Asian sounding music.
Plinko?
Plinko.
Plinko Asian music.
Yeah, pachinko.
Pachinko.
How come we don't use pachinko as a racist term?
I'm sure someone does out there.
Why don't we call Asians?
you guys.
Why don't we call Asians who like to gamble pachinkos?
It's perfect. It's perfect.
So they get in the ring and they circle up, and then like they kind of square off, and then fucking Vampiro just kicks the Cat in the back.
Like immediately.
Yeah, and then the ICP get in the ring, and they all just start stomping on him, and then the fucking Cat comes back with some amazing karate.
So you'd say
Kelly is actually pronounced
karate. So you would say the Cat came back
Yeah.
the very next day.
No, right now.
The Cat came back. They thought he was a goner. Does anyone? Do you guys?
The cat came back and they thought he was gay. Is what it is.
That's a good song.
It's a rhyming scheme.
Where
Come
do you
on.
go? Who is that? Is that Fred Penner? Is that?
Sure.
Do you know? Do you know?
Yeah, I know what it is.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think it's Fred Penner.
Is Fred Penner Canadian? Will Americans know the reference, or
Yeah, he's Canadian. I don't know.
he probably didn't make it?
Look
Look it up. Look it up, Andrew. Look it up.
They'll know Postman Pat.
He is, in fact, no Postman Pat.
I feel like that's
Frederick
local. That's not even national, right?
Penner.
Was Postman Pat just like a rapist that came to your school?
No, it's Postman Pat and his black and white cat. That's what he calls his dick, but I mean... I don't know.
He is from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. And he is 71 years old.
I'm thinking Americans won't know Fred Penner then.
Probably not.
It's too bad.
His show was on for 12 years.
I watched it.
Did you?
I'm pretty sure I did.
I bet you he's a pedo. Bet you he's a pedo.
What was the move that Cat did that was crazy?
Punch and kick.
Oh yeah,
Like-
punch
Oh,
and
he did
thrust kick.
double karate on both members of ICP.
Karate.
Yeah, and then Great Muta all of a sudden then starts beating up the Cat, and then it's like, oh, it's the whole fucking brothers in paint bullshit. So now the Muta's actually with the ICP and Vampiro, and then
Muta Vampiro Demon ICP is the sickest fucking stable ever.
yeah, and
Even though Great Muta is terrible.
yeah, and then the Demon did a really bad thing to.
Oh, he did his finisher, which never works.
I don't even know what it is.
It's like a side Cobra Clutch into basically a rock bottom. But it always looks like shit.
Yeah.
I don't think we're giving Ernest Miller's karate the credit it deserves. Violent J is standing in front of Ernest Miller.
Right.
Shaggy Two Dope is standing behind Ernest Miller. He extends his right fist out all the way in front of him while simultaneously extending his left foot all the way out behind him and hits both at the same time. It was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, it was pretty dope. And then, yeah, that's kind of there. And then, so now we're at the top of the hour.
His awesome feline is later, right? That's on Goldberg?
Yeah, he's on Goldberg.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, we'll come to that. Ernest Miller might have been the best guy on the show, and I hate him.
Yeah, exactly. So the next segment, this is top of the hour. Next segment is the title match.
Yeah,
Booker
Booker T. Goldberg title match.
No, Booker T versus Sting.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
I
Sting,
forgot about that. There
Yeah.
was a
Sting won the vote.
the vote. It is he won the vote, and like he has like a ski mask over his face because he got
burned it.
He's Darkman.
Yeah,
And he's Darkman.
And he's like, I'm gonna go out there. It's like I'm sick of this mask and the booking committee. I'm
You're gonna
like,
see what I look like.
Yeah.
P.S. I look like Sting.
yeah. And so he comes out. And as he comes out, Goldberg Pearl Harbors him.
Goldberg
Yeah.
freaking swings down from like the entranceway.
Yeah.
From a sweet chariot.
Yeah.
And
That's low, not down.
Yep. And then he goes after...
How about Sweet and Lowdown? Was that a movie?
Lowdown was a tag team.
What other weird free association can we do?
So Burke says, "What you doing, man?" He goes and helps out, his buddy Sting get on the stretcher very dangerously, and Goldberg gets into the ring and he cuts a promo, and then he says, I believe he said it's like I've always said, to be the man you got to beat the man.
Yeah, classic Bill Goldberg catchphrase.
Okay, and so Booker T decides, all right, let's do this.
Where's Ric Flair, by the way?
Oh yeah,
Getting paid to stay home.
All right.
Was he in the last episode?
He hasn't been around for...
Haven't seen him in weeks.
Months.
So Booker T gets in there and they start slapping each other, and Goldberg pretty much squashes
Complete
him.
squash.
Yeah.
Booker gets no offense. Goldberg beats the fucking shit out of him.
Yep. Puts him in an armbar.
Puts him in sort of an armbar.
Arm scissors.
Yeah.
And then
Booker's bleeding for some reason.
Yeah, Stevie Ray. I think because he got thrown into the steps on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Stevie Ray comes in and
Throws in the towel.
Yeah, referee doesn't see it.
Referee misses it because the referee's mentally retarded.
Goldberg uses it to dab himself off.
Yeah, catches the towel in midair, dabs his pits with it.
In his face.
Whips it back at Stevie, and then just more crew come out to check on Booker, who's legally dead. Yeah. And then Cat comes out again.
Oh yeah. You won the match, Goldberg. You won the
Yeah,
match.
it says, okay, go, just stop, you win. You have beaten your opponent to the point where he can no longer physically defend himself, but for some reason you do not win the title.
Yeah.
Because WCW. Mm-hmm. How do you like that?
The last time we would have seen Ric Flair on television was June 12th.
When do we next
It
see
was
him?
Flair and Russo, David Flair and Vince Russo versus Reed and Rick in the retirement match. Remember they shaved their heads?
Yes.
That's the last time we saw them, and they don't come back until the 5th of March 2001.
Holy fuck.
Oh, wow.
Where he comes back and is in the corner of Dusty Rhodes against Jeff Jarrett.
So does he, is his only...
He has...
Does he have one more match in WCW?
He has two. He has two more matches. WCW Greed.
Oh, so the second last day and last day.
And the last Nitro are the only two things he's on. He's back on the 5th, but all he does is corner Dusty.
Huh.
And then, judging by the Greed match, he turns on Dusty.
Sure he does.
Because it's Dusty and Dustin versus Jeff Jarrett and Ric Flair.
Dusty.
In a kiss my ass match.
Oh yeah, kiss the
man,
donkey.
What we should do is look at some results from March, April, and then realize all the people that haven't been on in months. Where's Dustin?
Oh yeah,
he's employed.
WWF.
I don't think he went back in 2000. He doesn't go back till 2002, I think. And
Black Rain.
Goddamn. Anyways,
yeah. So that's kind of and then Goldberg just walks away, and then go to commercial. Come back. Booker T is alive, and he's yelling at the Cat that he wants Goldberg
book it again.
Yeah, book it again.
I will attempt to get offense this time.
Yeah,
but no promises.
And Cat's like, nah, man, I won't do that. He's like, look at you, you're a mess. He's like, no, book it. He's like, all right, fine, I'll book it.
Yeah.
So he just kind of caves.
Cat's pretty agreeable.
Yeah, and then from there, we get. Buff Bagwell coming out with his mom, Judy Bagwell, and they're gonna wrestle Canyon.
Judy Bagwell, who swears up a storm.
Oh yeah, so
there's Canyon to get his dick out here.
Yeah,
that's at least what we assumed by the bleeping.
Yeah, they're waiting for Canyon to come out, and they play DDP's music because they're still doing the Positively Canyon gimmick, and but he doesn't come out, so they play it again. He doesn't come out, and then so. Buff's like, man, this is bullshit, and it's like, whatever, people here to see the Buff man, and his mom is like, and his mom grabs the microphone, is like, Didi, or Canyon, and then it bleeps up, we just say, I assume she says, get your dick out of here, and calls him
we forgot that earlier, Goldberg straight up said, fuck you.
Oh yeah, he did.
To the camera.
Yeah.
I have the information on Dustin, which is fucking weird.
Hit me.
The last time we would have seen him on Nitro...
April.
Was March.
Ooh.
He then wrestled a Thunder. And then a bunch of house shows, and then a Thunder, and then a bunch of house shows, and then doesn't come back until February.
What the fuck?
On a Thunder.
Weird.
It's Jeff Jarrett and Rick Steiner against DDP and the returning Dustin Rhodes. And then he wrestles me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times on television.
Huh.
And in 2001, and then that's it.
And like,
And then he's not back into the E until February of 2002.
2, yeah. And like, where's Sid?
Dead.
He's got to come back.
Suspended.
Sid has to come back and end his career
Oh
soon.
God. So yeah, and so Buff starts dancing, his mom starts dancing, and
Judy's got the moves.
she does, and Buff's mom's got it going on, and all of a sudden the cameraman who's filming it like puts the camera down. We're like, what the?
First, we thought the cameraman just fell down.
Yeah.
He was trying to get off the apron and just
And
like
fell,
lost
yeah.
his balance.
And then all of a sudden the cameraman, you see from that angle that it's been put down from, the cameraman coming in and attack Buff.
Comes into the ring.
And then he rips off his hat and his gray hair and like the prosthetics all over. Like this was like a fucking Disney job.
Yeah.
Like they went all out with this.
Also, the prosthetics look just like Triple H.
Yeah. And they had Triple H.
Triple H.
They had Canyon then like go after his mom, and then DDP tries to get the comeback.
Buff
Buff tries to get the comeback, and then Canyon reverses it into a diamond cutter Canyon I keep getting them all mixed up. That Buff sells on his knees.
Yeah.
Because why not? Why? Like it's literally the only bump you have to take in the entire night, and you won't fucking do it.
It's hard.
And then from there, it's the slowest chase scene.
Oh my god, the
ever.
low speed chase between Canyon and Judy Bagwell is so adorable.
He like walks very slowly after her, and she's like gingerly running away.
It's a brisk walk.
Yeah. And he eventually catches her and then throws her in the back of a car that's waiting.
I was so hoping like they were gonna go behind a wall and she'd be replaced with an obvious stunt double and he would like throw her off a bridge or something.
Yeah. Or Canyon cutter her on a scaffold.
Or Canyon cutter her off a scaffold was my other thought.
And he throws her in the back of a car and he drives away.
He's like, "You're my mom now."
Yeah. And and then Buff goes after them, and then from there we go to our next actual match, sort of, which is Mike Awesome versus the Franchise. And I forgot to mention that too, is that throughout the entire this episode, Billy Kidman was hanging around at like commentary because he's got a sex tape that he's going to show everyone of him and Tori Wilson, and Shane Douglas is losing his mind over it because it seems not so much that he made a sex tape with her.
He's mad that Tori has fucked before.
Yeah, that she's not pure.
He wants a clean girl.
Fresh out of the package.
Yeah. Wants to remove the plastic himself.
Yeah. So, anyways, Austin comes out with, Franchise comes
Nobody
out with
mows my lawn.
and
I do not like calling it mowing lawn, but
I love
okay.
it so much.
and Mike Awesome comes out with a trio of large women because he is the fat chick thriller now.
Yep.
And he goes
based on a joke that Mark Madden said once. It's now his gimmick.
And he goes to the ring and he pries the bottom rope open for them, and they all kind of sadly
Two of them fall into the ring and have trouble getting up. The other goes through the second and third ropes that he's not holding open.
Yeah. It's just kind of like sad.
And then they all hug.
Yeah.
And then they all leave.
Yeah.
And they have to get back out.
Yeah.
It seems torturous.
Yeah. My first note I've written for this is ugh. Because this was a bad match. There was the second attempt was good. The first attempt, not so much. Awesome went for a springboard to the outside, but didn't get the balance right and fell back into the ring.
Yeah.
And then did the second one, and that one
was
worked
good.
Fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did that stall once he's on the rope?
Yeah.
It was good.
And then
Good core strength.
Good core strength.
They just kind of have a shitty fucking who gives a shit match.
Not good neck strength.
Well, I don't know. We don't know how long he lasted.
Oh boy.
Hanging with Mike.
I think the finish is they go to the top. He's got Awesome on the top and Franchise going up, and then all of a sudden
they're teasing a superplex of some sort.
Yeah.
Tori is holding a dumbbell on the apron for some reason.
Yeah.
I have no idea where it came from.
Yeah.
Was it in her purse?
Maybe.
She didn't have a purse.
It was in her bust.
Mm.
She's holding them between the two boys.
Yeah.
Just flexing?
Yeah.
And the sex tape plays, which is just Billy Kidman and her under the covers making kissing
In their
movies.
underwear.
Yeah.
You know, like sex tapes go.
Yeah. And
Revealing.
Sees that, is like, ooh, 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 and then Mike Awesome grabs the dumbbell and comes outside the rope and hits him with the dumbbell and pins him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wrote down
Super face move by Mike Awesome.
A classic.
I just wrote down dumbbell finish with a question mark. And then from there, we go to a Kidman promo where he's in the ring with the tape again, and then like
Kidman gets around.
Yeah, and Franchise is like, Franchise was beating up all the video guys in the back for showing
playing
the
the video.
and then but Kidman talks about how like he made enough copies for everyone in the arena and all the boys in the back.
We're like, that's a lot of copies.
Yeah, that's expensive.
I mean, I used to do that for a living, and I don't think I made that many. I don't think I made that many copies of the Kidman Tory sex tape.
And did that even really go anywhere?
No.
Yeah, I just remember
It did not.
Like, I don't even remember how it ended.
There was no payoff.
Yeah,
Like, the payoff is going to be the Viagra on a pole match, but it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
So get psyched for that.
Yeah, God.
I think they announced the match between them at the pay-per-view. Maybe.
I think it was already.
I don't know. Maybe it was already.
I think it was already announced.
Yeah, and I think it was just they just cut. I think they just cut back to the commentators and Mark
Yeah, I think
being
they
a
just-
pig and
I will say they're doing a better than average job of promoting pay-per-view matches. Like, we can name several matches on the pay-per-view, and it's still several weeks away, whereas, like, most pay-per-views this year, we don't know the main event after the go-home show.
Yeah.
So, good job.
Or they just change things on the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Here's a question: we haven't seen him since I think we started watching Nitro in like the January ones. What happened to Kid Romeo?
Hasn't started yet.
I thought he started in. Maybe it wasn't Kid Romeo. Maybe it was because I thought he wrestled the Wall in like one of the January episodes.
Oh, he did. But it was just a job.
Yeah, he was just enhancement talent.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
He was still just doing Saturday nights.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I do have information on Sid, too.
Hit me.
We saw him in April
Yep.
on Thunder,
Yeah, we saw he was on
where he
like
lost to Harlem Heat 2000 by DQ.
he was on like 1 week after the reset, but then like the reset seemed to have like nothing for him.
December.
Really? Like
December.
8 months.
He comes back on a Nitro, he squashes Mike Saunders, then Starcade is the next week, he gets a title shot against Steiner.
And then he has 1 more month of active career
then-
and rack 'em.
Thunder, Nitro, Sin, done for 3 years. He comes back to the ring in June of 2004.
Really?
But he does a 10-team tag team rumble at IWS in Montreal.
Wow.
He wins.
Internet Wrestling Syndicate.
He wins. His partner is PCO.
Of course.
Nice.
That's fucking awesome.
That's a sick team. In any year between 1990 to current,
Two of the craziest men that have ever lived.
that team rules.
Yeah.
I would watch that team today.
Okay, yeah. And then from here we have a Hell in a Cell coming down.
Yeah, just cuz.
Yeah, but they announced it's going to be a four-way, four-team reverse cage match. Like, they don't even explain it.
Yeah, it's a reverse escape the cage. Well, no, I guess it's a regular escape the cage because you do want to escape the cage.
Yeah,
but you never do escape in like a Hell in a Cell. First of all,
yeah.
So that's weird. Second, it's 4 teams, and third,
The
like
last team remaining.
it's 4 teams competing for 3 title shots. 3 of the 4 teams will go into another 4-way with Chronic, the champions. So this is a 4-team match to eliminate only one of the 3.
Yeah. So basically, if you were the last team left, you lose.
Don't get the shot. But everyone else who escapes does.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
And but the thing
The
is,
stakes could not be lower.
and the thing is, people didn't even really want to escape the cage.
They didn't.
Okay, so it was the teams were it was Ray and Hoobie from the Filthy Animals.
Ray, who's been shopping from the Peg Bundy collection.
Yeah. And they come out with Conan, who's got his arm in a sling, and we're like, what the fuck happened to Conan?
Which is like how he fell down during a drug deal.
Yeah, and versus the Perfect Event, Sean Stasiak and Chuck Palumbo.
Please, they prefer the term Chuck and Suck.
Well, no. That's
what Drew calls
No, this is also Chuck and Suck.
Original Chuck and Suck.
Because it's Chuck and Stasiak sucks.
I see. But we know Chuck and Suck.
But Billy and Chuck
Yeah,
are Chuck and Suck because it's Chuck and Billy
Billy
sucks.
sucks.
Yeah.
But differently.
Orally
Physically.
sucks.
Yeah.
Palatially sucks.
The other team is
Palatially sucks.
Palatially sucks.
I only suck dick in castles.
MIA, which is Hugh Morris General Erection.
General Hugh G-Rection.
And Corporal Cajun. And the very new team of Jindrak and O'Hare.
And already a top 5.
Yeah. So they get in and they all start brawling. Tell me what happened. What does Sean O'Hare do?
Sean O'Hare does a fucking rad, like, jumping back roundhouse kick.
Yeah.
And LaRue sells it perfectly with a flip bump, and it looks so good.
Yeah. It's very well done. And but then, like, immediately O'Hare and Jindrak are thrown out of the cage.
Yeah, and
a couple minutes later, yeah.
So they
and they win, but they don't. It doesn't feel like they won.
Yeah. So and they're protesting it. Like,
Yeah.
you won. I don't like. Okay.
Why you mad, son?
Yeah. And from there we kind of go with I think it mostly focuses.
It gets real convoluted.
Yeah.
I think Perfect Event get out.
No, they are doing a thing with Ray, while Ray jumps on the top rope to springboards into Stasiak, so he
Right.
catches him. And I believe Hoovy was supposed to do the same thing, but
Yeah.
decided he was going to be on the same side as
Yeah.
Ray instead of doing it to Chuck.
So then Hoovy finally springboards in and, like...
Because Stasiak got Ray up in a gorilla press.
Yeah.
And he Hoovy,
Hoovy drop kicks him in the back.
Yeah, and he throws Ray forward into Palumbo.
To be caught by Palumbo, who does not catch him.
and they just kind of
crumble the ground.
And then, like, Hoovy then does a head scissors to Stasiak very sloppily.
Yes, that was also not good.
Mm.
Because, as Drew and I determined, Hoovy Tuguro was good at wrestling for 1 year of his career, and it was 1997.
Yeah. From there, it's just kind of a lot of brawling, and then all of a sudden, Disco Inferno is on the top of the cell, and he kicks... Oh, no, he's on top of the cell.
Don't Perfect Event go out and lock the door first?
That's right. Perfect Event goes outside, and they lock the door with a chain.
For not really any reason.
Yeah.
Not really, but the silly thing is, like, they lock the cage with a deadbolt.
Yeah.
And then Conan... The commentators imply that it looks like the Perfect Event and the Filthy Animals have made a deal.
Yeah, because after...
So that they can escape out the roof.
Because after they padlock it, MIA tried to get out the door, and it's locked. So MIA got screwed, is the idea.
Yes.
So then Conan goes over to the padlock with bolt cutters.
The padlock off.
And
in his sling was the bolt cutter.
Yeah, and doesn't.
And doesn't.
Because then Disco appears on the roof, kicks a hole in the roof, they bring a ladder in the ring, and then the idea is for Ray and Hoovy to climb out through the hole in the roof via the ladder, even though Conan is at the front door with bolt cutters. So it seemed like one of these things didn't need to happen, unless I'm missing something.
No, I think we covered it.
Okay.
And but MIA kind of get up on the animals, and they go to the top, and then so Morris is fighting with Disco Inferno up there, and as that's going on, Corporal Cajun, he's on the outside. Like, he got to the outside somehow.
I think
they open the door.
They finally get the door.
They open the door
after there's already people on the
roof. He like topes through.
No, that's the finish.
No,
that is
it? No, it's not.
No, the finish is fucking Damon.
Yes. So
yeah. So he topes through the
ropes.
ropes.
LaRue topes
into
Hoovy
through the open door.
That's right. And then as they're doing that, Lashley sets up a table, and Humor's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna fucking."
Yeah, Morris teases like an elbow drop off the top of the cell
to cement
through a table, and we're like, he's not doing it. We would all remember this if he did it, and none of us do
because he didn't do it.
Because
they put Hoovy and Ray get on LaRue, and they fucking put it up against the cage and throw him through it.
Yeah, just like Conan throws him through it, I think.
Yeah, and then something happens. Ray is fighting Demont or Morris, or whatever, on same thing, on the top of the cage, and then like he's like, yeah, like at the crowd, and then he trips.
Yeah, just falls down.
Yeah, and hurts his knee, and then
surgery,
and then I can't remember how he gets like.
I think they go back down. Yeah, they both go back down through the hole.
Yeah,
and then Ray grabs onto the cage. And
Ray tries
Frankensteiner.
a Rana off hanging from the cage.
Frankensteiner.
And Rection powerbombs him and leaves.
It's called Frankensteiner, but.
And then, so I guess you're wondering.
I've heard that it's called a Frankensteiner if it's not a pin, and a Hurricane Rana if it is a pin.
Don't tell Scott Steiner that.
It's always Frankensteiner.
It's always Frankensteiner. That's why he started breaking ankles.
Yeah,
it's true. It was so weird and silly how he broke ankles.
With a pipe?
Yeah, just like turning it like a ship's helm, and somehow it breaks your ankle.
Fine, you let him grab your ankle with a pipe and see
You know
what
what?
happens.
I will, but I won't let Rick Steiner, who is secretly the crazy Steiner.
Sure.
Scott's a lot of talk. I can handle that.
What?
Rick would murder me.
What year was that when he was doing that to the cruiserweights?
I think it's the end of this year.
coming
isn't it?
up. Yeah.
Okay.
It's towards the end of this year, yeah.
So anyway,
Before he wins the title.
Yeah, or even
When he's the champion,
he's
maybe? I don't
champion,
think so. I don't think he's a champion when he's doing it.
yeah, maybe it's the lead up to winning the title.
from there we go on to our main event,
Pardon me.
which is Booker T versus Goldberg number 2, and Goldberg comes out and he gets Pearl Harbored by Booker T.
Yep.
And
Payback's a bitch, motherfucker.
Good.
it's
for...
basically almost another Goldberg squash match.
kinda.
Like, it's just Goldberg doing moves to Booker T.
Goldberg did some good moves. He did either a fall away slam position,
Gorilla press
hooked
thing.
up to a power slam.
Yeah. But anyways, as he's gonna get ready to beat up, he's grounding and pounding Booker T. Jeff Jarrett comes with a chair, hits Goldberg.
No disqualification.
Yeah. I think Goldberg dispenses of him somehow.
Gives him a spear.
Goldberg no-sells
yeah.
the chair shot and spears him.
Yeah. And then the cat comes in, does a crazy karate kick to the face.
The feliner.
A feline.
Yeah, does feline.
It was awesome.
Uh,
It was right to Goldberg's face.
And then Goldberg no-sells it and, clotheslines him.
How sweet is it to be Goldberg?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never have to sell fucking shit.
Nope.
It's awesome.
Guy kicks you straight in the face? Nah.
Get up.
Yeah. And then from there, Booker T, though, gets the advantage and then hits the bookend and wins him 1, 2, 3. And Goldberg kicks out right at 3.
3.01.
That move.
Yeah. And then he immediately
Learned
spears...
it from Terry Funk against Johnny the Bull.
immediately spears Booker T.
Yeah.
And then does the jackhammer and then hurts
himself
Hurts his own
doing the
groin.
jackhammer. Because he comes up, holding his groin, we think, it could also be his arm, because, his arm was sort of
No,
down.
because he threw a punch. He threw a
Yeah,
punch
he
with
was
that
throwing
arm
punches,
as soon as he got up.
So it was, groin, inner thigh,
Or,
something.
abdomen or something.
Abdomen, yeah, because he does not wrestle until the pay-per-view in 3 weeks. And, yeah, he was definitely... It wasn't selling, because nothing that happened in the match affected that part of his body. So, get well soon... Get well soon, we want you to get well.
And that's pretty much the end of the show.
Yep. I do have one corrections department from last episode.
Hit it.
Well, because on the previous episode they had mentioned Bam Bam saving all those kids from that burning house,
Yeah.
and how he was 80% burned, but he would be okay. And then I said this kind of oh, he's not really okay. He wrestles for another fucking 7 years, so he was.
I didn't think he wrestled much after that.
He comes back to
Wow.
WCW, so that happened in July.
Yeah.
He wrestles in WCW in October,
Oh, okay.
and then he's back until the end of the company.
Wow.
He literally wrestles on the last Nitro.
And then what the fuck does he do post WCW? Just random.
Just a bunch of random indie stuff, 3PW.
I remember because he did that shoot interview in 2004, I think, or something like that. And he was still wrestling, I think.
Yeah, his last match was November 7th, 2006 was his last match. And then he died in January 19th, 2007.
What was his COD?
Heart?
Was it just a kind of a wrestler death type?
Uber Doses Drogen.
Pardon me?
Whatever that is in English. Because that's what cage match says.
Well, Uber doses is overdose.
Drugs. Drug overdose. Drugen? Drugs? No?
Yes.
Are we just going to teach ourselves German right now as we...
What do you... tell us everything. Cagematch.de.
He...
I mean...
Autopsy results showed that Bigelow's death was due to multiple drugs found in the system, including toxic levels of cocaine and anti-anxiety drugs. Bigelow was also suffering from a heart problem, specifically cardiovascular disease, and had severe back problems.
The old Coke Xanax speedball.
Yep, that sounds a boot right.
I mean, if you're gonna go,
If you're gonna go.
it's not bad.
We gotta go.
We gotta go. You have been listening to
No.
the #1